Ron Cobley. It's the end of October 2024. We just finished this beautiful project. I'll call it, it's a science experiment. Nevertheless, this is a 2022 Polaris Pro R 4-seat Ultimate that we put a Tesla large drive unit out of the 2015 Model S. And this has a battery pack, a complete battery pack reconfigured out of a 2017 Tesla Model X. It's got 75 kilowatts. It weighs about 3,600 pounds. And we just completed this, and I want to go over some of the features of it. Neat things about this particular machine is how we control it. We actually have an iPad right here. It snaps out. This is EV controls the screen. It's actually, the key's not on right now, but you can basically see this is how we control it. Reverse neutral drive, it gives me all my settings. And on this tablet right here, this iPad, I can change it and put it into ludicrous plus mode, or I can adjust the output of the motor. It also has really good gauge setup, but this little guy right here, I built a little device here. You can see it in there. There's no shifter, and that's how we put it in drive, neutral, and reverse. That's how we drive it. That's what controls the EV controls for the motor. And I can't say enough about EV controls. They make an excellent control unit for Tesla. Most everything that Tesla builds, I don't know if they do the plaid motor yet, but they make a controller for this one. And it works very well. It's Wi-Fi, and I've had literally no problem with it. And I'd recommend it for any build you're building. It's very reasonably priced. It was about $2,700, and I personally think it's the way to go. Anyway, that's how we control this. I can power this up. It'll connect here in just a second. You can see it did its thing. We got the neutral, reverse drive, so you can shift it, but you can see right now I've got 338 volts, but this is how the display looks. I want to show you guys where we put the Tesla large drive unit performance spec. If you look back here behind the driver's side rear seat, you can see the large drive unit right there. It is transfer case style. We did have to change the gearing in there and put a spool in it. A spool is it's not a gearbox, it's just a spool, and that's exactly what it is. So the front drive line and the rear drive line go the same exact speed. Nevertheless, we got that from Felton. They're in the United Kingdom, and we got a updated gear set for that to change the gear ratio. You can see the Tesla large drive unit back here, the high voltage cables, okay? Then you can see right here, I have a battery pack. There's 2 Model X modules in here, and there's 12 in this lower battery pack that sits underneath the vehicle. This has been rhino lined. And if you come around here, you can see I'm Tesla R. Here's that battery, one of the battery boxes with 2 modules, and there's some relays inside of there. Right in this opening right here, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's two black covers. Those are covering the charge ports. The chargers are made by Elcon. They do a fantastic job of making chargers for electric vehicles. They're out of California, and this is where we plug in. The chargers actually sit on a hand truck. They're not on the vehicle because of their weight. I just want to thank some sponsors and some people that really helped on this project. Number 1 is Sparks Motors, Dave Sparks, Diesel Brothers. They fab the battery box and they built these beautiful covers down the side to cover the battery box down in here, and they were a big help on this. TMW Off-Road, they are down in Phoenix. This is their bumper, that's their cage, that's their roof, these are their doors right here. What a solid door it is now. We want to thank DKZ. They're in Salt Lake. They made this foam for the doors and the headliner. Sector 7, Pro Moto built it, provided some mirrors. We'll turn these on here in a minute. We want to thank Tenzer Tire. Definitely want to thank Hostile Wheels. These headlights are from WD Electronics. They're very bright. They did the street legal kit. We want to thank HCR. This is all HCR suspension, front and rear. We want to thank MTS Off-Road. They redid the shocks. They put a different fork and a perch and heavier springs, obviously, because this thing weighs 3,600 pounds. They had to play with the springs, the spring setup, if you would. We want to thank Assault Industries. That's their axles right here. Their heavy duty axles are in here. I also want to thank Triple X Seats. He's down in Phoenix area. We got these seats from him. Again, the controller is EV Controls, and Felton, which used to be Zero EV, they provided the gears and the spool for the transmission and inside this electric motor. Vinyl Works in Bountiful, Utah did all of the vinyl around this. And let's not forget Sand Tires Unlimited. I don't have the sand tires on it right now, the paddle tires, but I do have a complete set of paddle tires. And I don't know if it's last, but certainly not least, MB Whips. That's one of their MB Whips. They're in Ogden, Utah. All these guys were great helps to me and is much appreciated. You can see the lights on the Sector 7 mirrors. These are the Prism mirrors, and this is a Baja Designs light bar.